Hi everybody, welcome back to Sage the Scales. Back again. It's a dreary, rainy day here in New Hampshire. I'm wearing my favorite Dallas Holocaust and Human Rights Museum hoodie. I love it, but the graphic is kind of, it's like, Holocaust Museum, yay! I just don't understand why they chose a rainbow, but whatever. I love it and I wear it to a lot of places. People compliment me. I don't know if they're pushing a button, trying to push a button, but I wear it a lot, and I love it. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. I want to thank everyone who has hit the like button and left comments. I try to comment back. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, but I love you all, and it's amazing that I have been able to get as many subscribers as quickly as I have. Of course, I want to thank Autumn from Black and Orange Tarot and Astrology again, because I know a lot of y'all have come over from her. She's just such a wonderful a resource for all of us, a wonderful community. And I talked to her and I said, it's kind of like a sister community. Like, you know them there and you know us here, and you can go to other places because you connect with other people and other locations as well. And I just think all of us together, being like-minded and having that same lift that we can have for society, it's wonderful for us to get these messages to help us remain up in that higher level, because it's, as we all know, sometimes the energy is very heavy. Like today I'm coming on. I wanted to come on earlier in the week, but the news moves so fast that the things that I wanted to touch on are always overlap with the next worst thing. And I kind of want to come to you when things feel heavy so that I can lift you guys up, because in that immediate moment, you know how you felt? Let's talk. Let's have a chat. So you know how we all felt so excited when the indictments for Trump went down? And we thought, this is it. It's coming. We're going to get to finally see justice. We're going to see some accountability. Laws will work, and we will course correct, right? We'll course correct the behaviors and the actions and the expectations of people that we elect into office. And here we are. Right? So, all summer, last summer it was crazy. We were just getting pinged all summer long with these indictments. And for about 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, we're in that elevated state of, okay, finally, we're going to get, yay, hallelujah, congratulations. And then it just all got twisted around. It's like we all got on a party bus. Hey, got indicted, right? 2 blocks down, by the time we got 2 blocks down the road, we're all getting off the bus going, we're off the bus. We're not on a party bus anymore. Things are not happening in the way that we would like. The messaging isn't the way we'd like, and we all end up in that zone of doubt. You got to try to stay out of that zone of doubt. Let yourself see the news, of course. Stay updated and know what's going on. My brother once told me 9 out of 10 things that you worry about never happen. Okay? So some of the doubt and the worry we've had, we all have recognized is just like, it's just floated away like dust. Like it didn't stick with anything. And it was unnecessary worry. But it's definitely important to stay on top of things, especially if news and politics is important to you. And it is to us. So I'm going to read on a few things, but I want us to all try to remember. We don't have to be on the party bus, but we don't need to get off on, everything's going to go to heck in a handbasket street. Okay, you don't need to take that stop. You don't need to get off the bus there. You can let this energy move through the way it's going to move through, right? It's like water. Like when ice melts on a roof and you have a water leak in your ceiling, you would assume that you look straight above it and that's where there's a hole. That's not how it works. Ice could be melting on far side of your roof and it travels and then comes through over here in this roof section, in this room over here. We have to let that energy work its way through. It's going to. Be hopeful. Please remain positive, because I don't see... Let's talk about D.A. Bragg. Let's start with that, because we were all looking forward. It's March 15th, and we were looking forward to A trial starting in 10 days. Talk about getting close and having the rug ripped out from under you. It's disappointing. I get it. But it's more airtight. The case is more airtight. And remember, we need it to be airtight because it is a state federal charge, which means even if Trump wants to be pardoned, he can't be pardoned from this. And there are 34 charges. Each one's carrying, I believe, up to 4 years jail time. That's a lot. I mean, even if say he got half of those removed, right? Say he's down to 15. Let's just go with 15. 15 charges that he's found guilty on, right? Of those 15, say they give him a year on each one. Okay. And then they say, okay, 15 years, first time criminal offense charges. We're going to cut it down to 8. So they cut it down to 8. Because, everything gets cut down. So whatever you're thinking you're going to get, just chop it way down. So, okay, so he gets 8 years. He's got to go away. And even if he has to only serve 4, he's going away somewhere for 4 years. If we can pull 4 years, and I keep feeling this before like that, 4-year time zone. Not only does it keep him out of this election, keeps him out of the next one. I don't see him surviving. I mean, he'll get the best health care and the most funnest of golf simulators for inside activity. But I don't see him surviving anything that long. I don't see him there that long. I don't even know if I see him there, but I know that there's something there, okay? And it can happen before the election. So let's read on it. Let's see. Is this case going to happen? Is there going to be a jury convicting and finding guilt of Donald Trump before the November presidential election? All right, that one was right on top, my hangman card. So I'm holding it upside down. I can't see what I'm doing. And I'm going to pull these other cards. Okay. All right. The bottom of the deck is our moon card. There's some crazy people coming out. People are screaming and yelling. Oh, and some of you know that someone in my family works in the legal field with some of this. And the crazies are out. But the police are also on the premises. So people are not smart. They're not as stealthy as they think they are. And these things are going to be stopped. They're going to, I think Linda G said it too, didn't she? That there was going to be some kerfuffle, but it's going to be tampered down because Intel is aware of it. And they can come in and stop things from getting crazy. So first 2 cards I have are the World card and Hope. So I think this trial, because it feels like the whole trial is it's been stalled. But I think what it's doing is it's hanging up Trump higher than we realize. Because he's not going to get out of this. Because there's an ending to his hope. I mean, there's with the World card, there's like a stopping point. Do you know when there's a death in the family and you talk about back when such and such was alive, we did this. It was always, there's a line. There's the when they were here and then the other conversations. And it's always prefaced by, do you remember when blah, blah, blah was here? Well, this kind of has that same feeling. Back when he was president, or back when he had money, or back when he was free of all of this. So here he is trying to hold out hope, but it's like all he's got is this one little dinky thing and he doesn't know where to put it, right? And whether this be that actual legal guilty, if somebody comes out and says guilty, it's like I said before, it's not going to be a big, huge thing. It's not going to be 34 years in prison after it's cut down from everything else. This is going to be a small thing, but he's stalled there. He's stalled there. And his people, in us, we're all, we can find some healing in the fact that this prosecutor is actually going to do what they need to do. It's going to happen. So when we have that legal prosecution at the end, it's like, here you go. That's what you have to deal with now. Take your medicine. Because I always look at the snakes here, and I always think that this is some form of medicine coming in, some form of healing, or you got to deal with, here's your cut, take your medicine, you're going to have to go. So I think this is going to be good. It's going to be good, but tamper down those high expectations. Sometimes we get kind of crazy, and we form our expectations based off what we saw on a television show. But if you, like me, are any kind of fan of documentaries or crime podcasts or whatever, it takes a long time. It takes time to get a court case play out in a courtroom. It takes a long time with appeals. It takes a long time pulling the investigation. Like cold case files take forever. It just takes time. But we want to make sure this one sticks. This man, if he could go away for 4 years on a state charge that cannot be pardoned, that would be so sweet. All right. Thank you for that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk just a little bit about Kate Middleton, the royals. It's not necessarily them and the whole conspiracy, where is she? It's the fact that, do you remember when Diana was good, married to Charles, raising the boys? Things were so much more different then. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have all these internet sleuths. We didn't have all these kids who were so savvy, so tech savvy, right? Incredibly intelligent now. Intelligent in being able to understand the ways of Photoshop and AI and really looking at things, which makes me feel very good, because when AI does start rearing its ugly head in this country, in this election, I can tell you, we are going to have a ton of younger people and older people, but a lot of younger people reaching that population, exposing the deceit. I mean, we've all seen it in Trump stuff. I mean, he has those ridiculous, what are those digital trading cards. Insanity, right? Where he's got, 6 figures. He's got like 6 fingers on one hand. And not just a 6-pack. He's got like a whole, and we know he has a keg, right? We know the man has a keg, but they're putting like an 8-pack on him like he's just some Olympic bodybuilder or something. It is just insulting to everyone who actually takes care of themselves. So I want to know, my question to these cards right now is this royal conundrum that they've got with trying to keep things quiet about Kate and the monarchy and Charles's health and what's going on with William and what's going on there? Are these outlets like TikTok going to assist in finding out the actual truth? Are we going to see these outlets find out what really is going on with royalty? Because they count on everything being under their thumb. They allow things to go out or not go out to the public. They have to okay the actual photos, the wording, everything, but they're not doing a good job. They're not. So what's going to happen with this? Okay. So it used to be that they would be able to pay people, keep them quiet, take care of everything the way they wanted it to be taken care of. Fair enough. We all saw that forever, right? But with one piece of information and somebody hearing something or seeing something that's being put out, you have a whole lot of people digging in. They're digging in and doing the work, and they're like, it's not coming up. They've searched and searched, and what they're getting is not, what they're being presented with doesn't cut it. It doesn't hold water. Doesn't hold water. So they've got a new tactic. Maybe it's William. I mean, they have that whole idea that William put out the picture, took a picture, okayed this picture. His words are coming out, and it's kind of revealing things. And then there's this fool doing a whole lot of work in the public. I think this could be new information. I think this could be that information. And it's not necessarily that they're going to solve what happened to Kate, but I do feel it's putting the pressure on them to actually have to stop this foolishness and come out and be honest, because they know they're not fooling anyone. And the best way to control people is pull the wool over their eyes. And when people are like, no, I don't believe you because we saw this, we heard you, we watched you. We can see things. Don't tell us we're not seeing things. Don't try to gaslight us. So I think it does. I think it does help. So that leads me into another thought. This whole discussion of TikTok being yanked, it worries me. Too many young people make a living with TikTok. They make a living. They enjoy it. It brings in a lot of revenue. But it's the duplicity of it. We know that there are underhanded things going on with the TikTok app, with intelligence and information of ours being sold to China. And I've never been on TikTok, so I can pretty much guarantee that there's nobody in China going, I'm going to hack Valerie's account. They don't know who I am, I don't think. I mean, they probably do, but who cares? It's me. But as far as getting your information, I'm not on it. They don't have anything that TikTok can provide them with from me. So I know, will Biden come up with a stopgap? I think that's what I really want to ask, because Congress wants it shut down, because even though it is beneficial and entertaining and fun, and it's a great way to get the information around to everyone, on the other hand, there's very underhanded stuff that it's affecting the American population. I don't think they understand how. I don't think they understand how serious it is, what kind of damage it can actually do. And we really don't need to wait for the end result to come about to find out just how bad it is before we do something. So in part of this, I'm kind of glad, but the other part of me is like, if China would just yank everybody's bank accounts that they've conned the information off of TikTok from, then everybody would understand why we would ban it and they'd be on board. But this is not it. This is a precursor to a lot of damage. Let's see if it's going to hurt Biden. Let's see if Biden forms some sort of stopgap, something between Congress saying ban it and the White House signing it saying yes, we're going to ban it. Is there going to be another step? Something that comes in, someone that can actually, buy that share out and have it monitored by the United States. People have got to be telling Biden this is bad. You sign TikTok, you just might as well get rid of all the young people, all of their votes, because they're just addicted to it. And we know they're addicted. There are scientific studies showing that there is an addiction quality with social media. TikTok's a big one. Yes. Okay, so is Biden going to put in a stopgap? Will something happen before he signs the death of TikTok? Before Biden stops the clock. Okay, let's see. It's kind of an emotional situation. Biden wants to protect everyone. It's like taking your phone away from your grandkid. It's like they get upset. It's for their betterment. You need to put their foot down. They don't understand. So here's his conundrum. You come at this with some emotion from the younger people. they're like, wait a minute, I really want this. And you're like, and they do a lot of work on it, right? They use TikTok. They put a ton of work in. They put a ton of work in. So here's somebody. Oh, maybe this is a backer. Maybe this is someone with some money to come in and say, you know what? If I buy it, we get the poison out of the well. And this came out upside down. So that, I mean, if you have this right side up, the Two of Swords right side up is, you know, you have to make this decision, right? You're going to vote one way or the other. But you're not really active because she's just sitting. She's still just sitting. She's not up actively doing the thing. She's just like, it's a little thought, right? So it came out upside down. Sometimes it means you don't want to deal with something, but sometimes it means in the end, it's free. You're free of mind. You're free of mind. So if somebody comes in and buys it and they get the poison out of the well, it's no longer an issue. Maybe. That would be amazing. I mean, that would be the best of both worlds, right? That would be the best thing that could happen, by golly. So, all right. The next thing is our D.A. Bragg question. My question is, since it's no longer going to be... Oh, I'm sorry. I have a cat hair that has decided to stick itself on my face. It's up in my nose. So we're all looking forward to this D.A. Bragg case coming in March. And now it looks like, because of all the new information, and I have questions. I have questions for the DOJ. So I'm talking to you, Merrick. What the holy heck were they thinking? Dropping all of this information, all these documents in their lap. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks worth of court date time, by the way. Before the trial. I wanted a trial. Okay, so we're not getting a trial in March. So then they're saying it's not going to be through April, so maybe the end of April, maybe the beginning of May. I was hoping we were going to have that April 8th eclipse smackdown on the court steps of New York. But we're not now. He better live. He better live long enough to make it to court. I'm telling you, I got this. Everybody's wondering. Everybody's wondering what they're seeing and feeling. I want him to go to court. I want to be right there with him. I want to be a fly on the wall and watch him in the courtroom. All right. So, it's not March. It's not April. Is it maybe? Let's see. Are we talking May? Are we going to court? Hey, Bragg, I'm talking to you. Are we going to court? We're going to go to court in May. Let's see. I just got Justin Timberlake singing, "It's Gonna Be May." You know that song, that Bye 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 song that he sings? So don't. Every May happens. Okay. D.A. Bragg, are we going to court? Are we going to court? Are we going to court? Judgment on the bottom of the deck, baby. I love my judgment card because I had to draw clothes on him. So I drew this on him and it's not big enough. So he's got like a bum crack. So I call him Joe the Plumber. All right. Even Joe the Plumber is going to be interested in this. So, of course, we have this lovely card with a man who's the red jacket, like the British redcoats, right? MAGA. Walking away. He's defending himself. He's feeling very wounded and defensive. And oh my goodness, they're being so mean to me. I have to walk away from what I love, my campaigning. And I have to be on the defensive now. Middle card is the Queen of Pentacles. It's not a sword. It's not a legal card. But we are talking about Stormy Daniels, right? We're talking about Stormy, and she got paid, right? They keep calling it the hush money case, and I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would just call it the election interference case, and stop making it sound so salacious. It's yes, it is, but it's not anything we really want. It's no Hunter Biden. That is what I'm going to say. It is no Hunter Biden. So maybe this has to do with her. Maybe this has to do with her. And maybe there is something new that comes out of this documentation that we love. Because it leaves them strung up again. I'm going to read another set because I'm wondering if this is like, okay, so maybe this is him in court. But are we going to see, because I didn't ask this, are we going to see a guilty verdict from Bragg before November? Let's do this again. Are we going to see this again? Let's go over this again. D.A. Bragg. Oh, Juan Machan, are we going to have a guilty plea? That's what we should be asking about. Bragg can bring in, but Machan needs to bring in the plea. What are we going to see from Judge Juan Machan? Okay. There's a lot of strength in this. On the bottom, we got this. We do. We have our government officials. Could this be the court? I mean, very well could be. There's looking deeply at this situation. We're starting with our Hermit card. Looking deeply in this situation and understanding what is shining a light on what was going on because things are changing. You know, this is the part. This is the sister card to the World card, wherein you have these symbols in the four corners, and they've got these pieces of information, and they're learning. They're learning a lesson. They're supposed to be learning a lesson, and then later they complete the lesson, and it's new. You start all over, right? Sort of always been my understanding. So you're learning about what you know what this could be? This could be the fact, remember where we joked that it's like, oh, sure, Trump pays none of his bills. The one time he pays somebody, it's Stormy Daniels, it's for sex with a porn star, and he got caught, right? So how ironic was that? So maybe this is it. We're looking at this isolated case here with her where he actually paid her. And he didn't learn anything from it for sure because all those secrets came out. He tried to keep it secret. It wasn't a secret very long because that hush money was to catch and kill that information, that story, and it all came out. She's letting it all come out. And they did a lot of work. It was a heavy lift. They did a lot of work to try to steal the money from, wasn't it? Yeah, they stole things, right? They stole the money. They paid for that story, so they stole her voice. They stole the story away. They hid it away. A lot of people were involved. There was a lot of manpower. Of course, we know it was Trump. We know that it was David Pecker. I'm sorry. I can use. It was David Pecker from the National Enquirer. He took the story. He banked it, so it wasn't going to see the light of day. I mean, there was Stormy Daniels' testimony. There was Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen went to prison for all this, right? There was, who else signed, wasn't it Donnie Jr., who also signed a check? It went through the campaign finance. It was just all these people, right? And they all had their hand in it. And it all came out, even, and that's what it's going to show. And I think this could be it. These could be the charges. These could easily be the charges. And of course, he's going to say, for me, I'm being robbed of my freedom. I have been stolen. They have stolen my freedom from me. Where? Tiny violin time. Where? Okay. I think this is going to work out for us, but I think we just need to remember we don't need to get off the bus on Pity Street. We don't need to get off the bus on Doubt Street. We need to just make sure we let this play out. This is going to take time. It needs to be done right. We have to have faith that even though a lot of this drops by the wayside, we don't need all of it to play out right now. And just like with the royals not being able to pull the wool over everyone's eyes in England, Trump isn't doing it here in America. He's unable. He's unable to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. Yes, he has a whole lot of followers who are like Charles Manson's girls who are going to follow him to the ends of the earth and do whatever he asks and go to jail and love him for decades, even behind bars, and not understand their level of gaslighting and damage. But we can't focus on them. Let us take this time and put our energy into this process and say, remember, he's got a path. He has a path. And it's not going to come to a happy ending for him. The man is completely underneath the wheel. So when you have the Wheel of Fortune, when you go underneath the wheel, it's like a grist mill wheel, and it grinds on you, right? It's grinding on him. He might think that he's doing great and try to tell us everything is wonderful, but it's grinding on him. There's no way this is not affecting him. And he can have all the crazy people come to Mar-a-Lago and sing him stupid renditions of MAGA Andrew Lloyd Webber songs all he wants. I don't know if y'all saw that. Somebody rewrote the words to Phantom of the Opera, and so sad because she's got a gorgeous voice, and they videotaped her from behind singing at him. All she didn't do was bow down to and kowtow and kiss his feet and anoint them with oil. It was his crazy pants. Crazy. But let's see. What am I going to ask? Tell me how Trump is doing right now. Let's see how Trump is doing right now. Whoop. Got the mice card. There's a lot of thievery. Here he is. Let's see what else we got. Show me Trump. Show me Trump. A lot of communication and chatter with people. What's he up to? Let's see. Give me a couple more. Couple more on Trump. How's he doing right now? Ooh. That didn't come out. Wow, those just fell out. That's not right. So I got the snake. He's all tied up in this Gordian knot of lies. How is this affecting him? How is this affecting Trump? The light's shining on his end. His ending is illuminated. We're watching those initial vestiges of his decline, his ending in society. He's figuring out where to go. He's trying to unlock a pathway forward. Between you and I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave. I mean, that has to be in his mind. If we've all said it, like, oh, if somebody ever did this, I'm leaving, right? We don't have the money. We don't have the money to get our whole family out. And those are the things that keep us from leaving something. Even if you're in a bad relationship, it's like, oh, I wish I had a better car. I'd take the kids and go, or whatever, right? He has all this. And before it's too late, before he has nothing to offer another leader of another country, because it's like he visits with Viktor Orban, like even if he just said, okay, if things go south, can I hightail it over to your country? The man's going to be like, well, how will that affect my leadership? And am I going to be harboring a fugitive? And therefore, there's going to be backlash on my country and my ability to work with other countries. How is it? I mean, they all have to think of this. They all have to wonder how this is going to work. It's one thing to go and have Trump praise you at his place in Mar-a-Lago. It's a whole other thing to have Trump in hiding. How do you hide Trump anywhere? How do you hide him anywhere? It might have worked for the conspiracy theorists or whomever who thought that Hitler fled to Argentina, which could very well be true. I don't know. I haven't really investigated that or anything. But other Nazis went there, other high-profile people, and they kind of hid away, and it's because of their money. If Trump doesn't have the money, if something goes down and he just doesn't have the money, why would these people even bring him in? He wouldn't even be a player anymore. So I'm trying to wonder if that's an angle that he's going to be successful with. I'm sure he's thinking of it, though. And that was the question. How's he doing? What's on his mind? So let's read one more. How is he feeling about the Bragg case? Because honestly, we've heard a ton going into the documents case in Florida. We've heard a ton about the Jan 6 case in D.C. But this one, I don't know if they thought it was small potatoes or they knew this was going to happen last minute so they didn't have to put any time. Oh, I wonder if that was the case. I mean, what if? Was Trump already aware because they requested this information, in January? And they said they weren't going to get it or they couldn't get it or whatever the deal was. Did he know something we didn't know? Did Trump know something about these documents coming out last minute that we did not know? Did Trump know something? Hello, stuff. Yep. Okay, we have that ring, that binding. He has a commitment with somebody, some sort of an agreement or promise with somebody. Okay, so did he know there was something underhanded, like undershadowing that we didn't know about that maybe he saw? He could see it. And maybe this is all those documents because there's so many of them and they were just going to jam in. It's like a paper jam in a big Xerox machine. It's like, here's all your documents, stall. I don't like this feeling, guys. I don't like this one. I mean, it's not going to work. And we know Mershon's not going to put up with it. Mershon's not just going to okay, we'll just do it whenever. We'll put it up for another year. He wants this case. These courthouses and these judges and their staff and the witnesses, I mean, they are all stressed out. They all know it's coming. They want to do a great job, get it over with and end it, right? They just want to be safe. Some of us have watched Midas Touch, and we've watched the Maya Culpa podcast with Michael Cohen, and it is so stressful. Even though you know you're in the right, even though you know you have the receipts, it's an emotional, physical bombardment of negativity and hate, and it's just you're going to get dragged through the dirt again in public. And it sucks. It absolutely stinks. Your family's lives are on the line. Your life's on the line. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me get a card. Let me get a card to sort of... Yeah. This is a beautiful card. It's from the Oracle of Mystical Moments, and it's the card number 47, and it's the it's a card that shows my dear friend. My dear friend. See, it says, my dear friend. Now there's a sister card to this that starts off with a young girl. And she's on a young deer. And they're writing. So you start on this and you continue with this. And it develops over time throughout the deck. Because it's number 47. Let's see if I can find the original, the first one, the predecessor to this, just to show you the difference. Because I think what this is telling us is that this has gone on. They've been consistent. They haven't stopped. They haven't dropped the ball, gotten off, been waylaid in other places. And their stories haven't changed. They all know who the players are, and they're supportive of one another. Right, this one, The Journey. And that's number 19. You see that number? The Journey. So she's starting off with this young deer, and they're friends. And at the end of their journey, they have formed this bond. Right? Together they've grown together. They've changed. I mean, look at Michael Cohen. Look how much he's changed. I mean, he's not in the cult anymore. He's not supporting this guy. He's not backing this guy. He's owning his truth. He's come out. My goodness, this whole podcast is called Mea Culpa. If that doesn't show some sense of understanding that you need to be responsible for your behavior, actions, and words, nothing does. And she's holding on to that antler. She's stabilizing herself. But it's misty. It's murky. Do you see? But it's like winter's ending and spring is coming. You have the snowflakes that are falling, but it's warm enough to make that misty cover on the ground. The seasons are changing and times are changing, and it's not going to be winter forever. And we have to remember that the journey is long and can take a long time. My goodness, this girl grew up, right? She was a girl with a little baby deer, and now they're all grown up. They're stronger, they're wiser, and they're still going. They're still going. This isn't going to stop. This isn't going to end. They're going to go to court. They're going to speak their truth. They're going to be viewed in a different way. They're not going to be viewed in a way that is, people accusing them of being liars and cheats and criminals and porn stars. And, oh, my God, let's sex shame. And let's shame someone for lying. And let's shame someone for signing checks they shouldn't have signed. And, of course, they're probably going to try to pull up that whole idea that Michael Cohen was seeing someone else and had a... They're just going to dredge up the dirt. But I think they're all going to hang on to each other, and they're going to go forward because they're in. They're all the way in, and they're not going to stop until their stories are told. And they won't. Look at Michael Cohen. He screams it from the mountaintops every day because he needs everyone to know the truth. So let's just show them our support. Let's be patient. I'm sure they're a little aggravated or not. It depends on their viewpoint. I mean, it's stressful, right? You're getting down to like 2 weeks before you're supposed to show up. You got to make all these plans. Well, now it's changed. And it's just prolonging that, having to build yourself back up again to go do it. But let's just give them that strength and that positivity. And let's not live in the land of doubt and worry. Let's just let this play out. And let's take some time away from our phones and take some time away from what we're doing. I don't do this every day because I just don't know if I could. I'd like to think I could, but I do other things. I have a cleaning business, so today, after I'm done with this, I'm going to go clean. Of course, I'm gonna load this tonight once I'm back home. But I go and I do things, and I water my plants, and I made a terrarium. I'm going to show you my terrarium. It's a fun one. The base, it has a cement base. And I have my little plants inside. And I have 7 stones. I mean, I think this is the 7 of them. I have my little chakra stones in here. Yeah, so I have my chakra stones and another little crystal in there, a couple crystals, and I take care of it, and I nurture something every day. Of course, I have my granddaughter who lives with me. I nurture her all the time. But this is kind of a thing. So, and I have my, I know some of y'all are religious, but I definitely know that this was given to me by my neighbor. She's a devout Catholic. I love her. She's amazing. Her name is Miss Suzanne. She's been more of a mother to me than my own mother. But she gave this to me, and I love the green for the heart chakra, for us to all have love in our hearts, for us to be able to be active enough to assist our hearts to be strong. And I send that out. I send that to everyone. I send that to Trump. I send out that energy to him to hang on. Let's get you through these trials so that you can deal with what you need to be dealing with. And I want everybody to go back to that feeling of that when you felt the scales were more balanced because Trump had been indicted 91 times, folks. 91. He doesn't have to be found guilty on all 91 charges, right? He doesn't have to be. You don't have to hit all the marks. You just have to do enough damage or have enough justice served. Let's say that. You need to have enough justice served to show the world we do value our laws in our Constitution, that we hold people accountable, that just because you think you want to do horrible things in this country doesn't mean you're going to get to. That sometimes good people win. And sometimes those people who have been totally misdirected in their lives have to face consequences. So, all right. I love you all. Go have a wonderful day. Go do something fun. Go be creative. Just get out of this headspace for a little bit and know that it's going to be okay. It is. I don't see, even with this TikTok thing, I don't see Biden not winning. I think that there needs to be some PR on it. I think we need to have somebody step in. I'm sure there are already people chomping at the bit to try to take it on and to prevent it from going under. It is a moneymaker. It is a moneymaker. So, okay. So I'm going to send my love to you all. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Bye.